Well, howdy. Thinking about starting a woodworking business? So today, guys, I'm not going to be making any project. First, I want to kind of give you kind of a rundown. If you're looking to start a woodworking business, what it takes, what kind of tools you need, my story and how I started doing it, and how to market and all that kind of stuff. So first of all, I guess I'll start out with my story. I actually began woodworking at 14 years old. Me and my brother had started a business called Sibs, and basically we just made furniture from plans that we found off of the internet. I'll put a link in the description below of what we used. We personally used Anna White plans, and we used a bunch of their plans, and it's been amazing. So if you're interested in looking for plans, that's a perfect place to go. They are free. This is a misconception, is many people think I need a lot of tools, like I need a miter saw, or I need a table saw, or I need all these grand tools. Well, me and my brother started out with an old jigsaw and an old drill. We also had a plywood sander, which is not the best sander, but that's what we started out with. And I actually made this with just those two tools. So don't think that you need a lot of tools to start. We used these tools for our first couple of projects. After we sold those projects, we invested in a cheaper Harbor Freight miter saw that was not a sliding. It was just a regular old chop saw. That helped a lot. So with the big tools, the big tools are to help with speed and precision. Speed, it helps, I'm not sitting there having to barely cut it, I just chop it and that's it. And then also with precision, I can't tell you how many times we cut 2x4s or 2x6s with a jigsaw. Our lines were just like this, going all the way up, but we were still able to make it, and we were still able to sell furniture. So you do not need a lot of tools. If you're starting to woodwork, I think this is the hardest thing about woodworking, that is finding what to make. There's a lot of things that I would personally like to make. Would those sell? Probably not. There's a lot of cool things that I see on the internet. I'm like, man, I would like to make that, but then I think about it, would it sell, or am I just, making something for fun? So in order to find something that sells, you need to find the niche. And the niche right now that I have found is those soap pedestals that I made a video about. And thank you guys for everybody who subscribed and everybody who viewed. It blessed me a lot. The Lord blessed me a lot with that. And so thank you guys. But those soap holders I'm selling even today. I just sold 4 today, and I'm probably just sell a 5th one. So make those. If you want to sell something, make those. It doesn't make you a lot of money, but at least you're making something. It is tricky right now to find the niche. Like, I've tried to make coffee tables and stuff that used to sell before aren't selling. It's good now. That is, I think, the trickiest part about woodworking, is finding that, because honestly, I don't want to waste my money on building materials and build something and then not sell. That's the hardest thing, I think. So just finding that niche. If you can find that niche, you're good as gold. So after you've made the project, how do you market it? How did I market it? When I first started at 14, we used Facebook Marketplace. That's all I use now. I've tried Etsy, and it's very hard. It's such a saturated market that it's so hard to get in there, because you start, everybody else has got all these views and you've got 0 shop views, so people don't, I don't really want to buy from this person if they don't have, reviews that I can go off of. So I personally quit Etsy just because, it doesn't cost a lot. I think it's like 10 cents per listing, but it's just the fact of the matter that I had to pay the 10 cents, and that ends up adding up over time, and I wasn't selling anything. So a lot of people have had success on Etsy, so don't throw that idea out. I'm just giving you my personal taste on it. So why I personally use Facebook Marketplace is because I can sell to people local. I don't have to ship. Shipping is such a big hassle. So, but I've sold everything that I've made on Facebook Marketplace. Either that or word of mouth from Facebook Marketplace. You can also start a business page. That's what we did. I've sold a couple things off the business page. Do that as well, and it's all free. So let's say you post on Facebook Marketplace and you get a bite. Somebody's, willing to buy it. However, they're asking $25 to $50 off, let's say a coffee table that I'm selling for $350. In Facebook Marketplace, you do want to sell a little bit cheaper because people are going there to look for used items. They're not going there to pay big bucks. Not saying that they won't, there's some people who will. Just know that you're probably not going to get as much as you want for the project, and that's okay. If you're okay with that, like me, I don't do this for a living. I do it for a hobby and kind of a side hustle. But let's just say you got the bite, and they are offering you, instead of $350, they offer you $300. Don't have a firm price mindset. People like to deal, and I personally like to deal myself. I do that every time I'm looking for a tool like this one. I haggled with this one. It makes everybody happy all the way around. However, do not go too low, because you did put your hard work, money, you put a lot into it. So don't sell yourself cheap, but don't be afraid to go down a little bit. I had a coffee table that I was sitting on for a good month, and I was just ready to get rid of it. It's taking up space in the shop, and I'm just ready to get rid of it. So I dropped the price from $350 to $3. Somebody asked, would you take $250? I thought about it for a minute, and I was like, $250 is better than nothing, than me just sitting on it and taking up space in my shop. Of course, like I said, I do this for a hobby. I'm not doing this, for a living. If I was doing it for a living, I don't know exactly what I would do there, but just kind of advice from me is don't be afraid to go a little bit lower. But anyway, guys, that's kind of a rundown of what I personally do. This was kind of, again, I started at 14. I'm still doing it today, so that proves that I have been selling stuff. I will admit it is a little bit slower these days, just because how the economy is and all that kind of stuff. But you can do it. Like the soap pedestals, people are looking for stuff right now that are cheaper. So the soap pedestals, you can find them on Etsy for like $15. I marked it down to 10 because they also have to pay is $15 plus $7 in shipping. Well, I figured it only takes me a second to make. I'll charge $10, and every time people come over, they're like, I've been looking for these things for a long time, and they're just so expensive online. They said, I saw this one, and that's the one I went with. It makes people happy. You sell. So, I mean, I don't know how many I've sold, but they're looking for stuff that are cheaper. Right now, big furniture isn't quite in. I'm not saying nobody would buy the furniture, but right now I'm sitting on a coffee table here that used to sell like that, and it's just not saying I'm not going to sell it. I might eventually sell it. I might just be sitting on it for a few weeks. Anyway, this is kind of my experience. I'm no expert, so don't take my word for everything. There's a lot more experienced people out there. If you're just starting out, this is kind of my advice, and it's a fun business to be in, guys. So, but again, do not buy tons of tools starting out. You don't need them. If I had it to do over, if I didn't have any tools starting out, I would have bought a circular saw, a drill, and a sander. That's all I would buy. I mean, you think of the people in the old days that didn't have power tools. They just sat there with a handsaw. If you want to get a handsaw, do that. But thank you guys for watching this video. I appreciate everybody who subscribed, and appreciate everybody who's left comments. It's been very, very encouraging to me. So thank you guys. Anybody who's just starting to watch this channel, please hit the like button and the subscribe button. It helps me out a lot, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.